some significant recruiting news this morning if you're an Ohio State Buckeyes fan, and they just keep it rolling as the top-rated safety in the country on the 247 Sports composite rankings. Blaine Bradford has committed to the Buckeyes. This is a huge one. I mean, again, keeping it rolling at that position. And to me, as a guy who's 23rd rated overall, the significance is where you're getting him from, which is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, and look, sometimes those guys will leave the state, right? You look at Dylan Sampson, who was just unbelievable for Tennessee this year at running back, now in the NFL draft. He's a Baton Rouge kid. So you do see these guys leave sometime, but it's not something that typically happens for LSU. They're so good in state. And to lose a safety to Ohio State from Baton Rouge, that's a tough pill to swallow for LSU fans. But if you're an Ohio State fan, you are feeling absolutely terrific. You wanted 3 safeties in this class. Ryan Day, Matt Patricia, getting this one done. Also, Coach Guerrieri, the safeties coach. So very, very big move. You got Caleb Downs. You need another impact player. You saw the impact that Caleb Downs had on this team in their run to the championship. So this is a tremendous addition. If you're comparing the two, I think from a run defense standpoint, Bradford is very similar to Caleb Downs, 6'1", 207. Really great just ability to see it and attack. His closing speed, his confidence. He's a physical player as well. But that jumps out to me, just the fact that he's already a safety and he has that vision. You see him in coverage here. I'm not sure if just total athlete is what you have with Caleb Downs as far as like returning punts for touchdowns at the college level. I'm not sure that Bradford has that. But as far as being a tone setter, as far as having speed, you saw how big Ransom was to this run. I think Bradford can give you some of that from just a physicality, tone setting, urgency standpoint, on top of having, very good size at 207 pounds for a high school safety and very good closing speed as well. But I think more of a box player. He's not so limited that he's not going to be a safety for you. He'll be a safety, but I think more of a box safety, a premium high-end 5-star type box safety that really helps out against some of these running games in the Big Ten, which, you're going against Michigan, you're going against Penn State, you're going against Oregon, you're going against teams that want to run the ball and then want to throw over the middle. And this guy can set the tone in both of those areas.
Yeah, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. He plays like a linebacker, and that's no slight to him. But when you watch certain guys play and you talk about certain positions, the linebacker mentality, that's something that you talk about a lot. And we understand some of these safeties play near the line of scrimmage, are asked to play a lot, in run support. But a lot of times it's just like they're doing that because that's just a part of their job, not because it's legitimately what they want to do. And this is a guy that, boom, once he locks in on the ball carrier, he turns into a linebacker. He's going to make that tackle. And I think that is what makes him such a special player here potentially. You see the burst though, right, in the short areas. I don't know if some of this tape looks like it's a little bit sped up, but he does have really good short area quicks as well.
Quick trigger, right? When you're a safety, it's not about your pure time speed. We've seen a lot of safeties that are not fast have success in the NFL and in college. It's about how fast do you play, how fast do you identify what's in front of you, and how fast do you react to that. And I think that's what you see with him, particularly going downhill, is that quick trigger. You see him there, boom, over the middle, laying down the law a little bit, got a flag. That might happen a little bit. But you see here on special teams, which you want to see some of your 5-star type players making plays on special teams. But I think the signature for Blaine Bradford, if you're an Ohio State fan, is the ability to trust his eyes, see what's happening downfield, quick trigger downhill, or when he sees it, and then having the closing speed to get there in a hurry and the size and the striking ability to deliver a big hit. That's really, to me, what Blaine Bradford's all about. He does have some multi-sport stuff, some track times, nothing blazing or particularly noteworthy there. Also plays baseball like another Louisiana safety, Ed Reed. Much different type of player for the Destrehan native, Ed Reed, compared to Blaine Bradford. But I think this is a guy who right away is going to help Ohio State at least on special teams, but potentially in the defensive backfield where they're losing guys to the NFL at all times. When you have so many guys like Caleb Downs that are 3 and out, you're always going to need a steady flow of 5-star freshmen to go into Louisiana State's backyard and win this battle. Absolutely huge. Of course, LSU was involved. Oregon was involved. Texas was involved. All the heavy hitters. This is a 5-star player. But Ohio State comes out on top. Also a shout out to Tim Walton, who was involved in the recruitment as well with his NFL experience. It's a team effort to land this outstanding football player for the #1 team in the country. Like, they needed the help.
Well, and I wanted to bring this list up real quick as we look at the top recruits in the state of Louisiana. Lamar Brown, #1 consensus there. But then you see LSU has a pretty strong grasp on most of the rest of the top 10 here. A couple guys here at the bottom part of the top 10 undecided. But it just, again, goes to show you the significance of a pickup like this. You'd imagine LSU is not going to give up in this recruitment either. But Ohio State, I'm sure, probably feels pretty strongly about holding on to him.
Yeah, look, Lamar Brown's another one from Baton Rouge that's up in the air. He wants to play defense. We'll see. There's a lot of schools involved there. Who's just in Miami. That's not the only school involved. There's a ton of schools involved there. But this was a very, very strong year in Louisiana. I think you see all those LSU symbols. That was a priority for the staff, is to dominate in state. And you can't have everything under the top 2 spots saying LSU and then the top 2 spots saying other schools. LSU needs to win one of these 2 battles, either for Lamar Brown or for Blaine Bradford, if they want to say that they've taken back LSU. You're never going to get them all, especially with teams like Ohio State coming down to recruit. But you got to win the majority of them. They did a very, very good job in state. There's a huge blow. Let's see if they recover with Lamar Brown or potentially with Blaine Bradford himself. We've seen these go a million times. Nothing is over until the signature is on the paper, especially in the state of Louisiana.